You know, every now and then I like to resharpen my NBA history, so I'll go back and rewatch games from the past. And last night I got to watch Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals between the Sacramento Kings and the LA Lakers. This is the game where Robert Horry hit the game-winning three from the top of the key to tie the series to 2 apiece. Otherwise, the Kings would have been up 3-1, and they would have won the series. But here are some of the things I took from this game. I will go back and rewatch the rest of this series, but as of this point, especially this game, the Kings were the better team, especially in that first half. If it weren't for Kobe taking over in that second quarter and the fourth, the Lakers would have lost this game. But Kobe stepped up in the second quarter when Shaq actually left the game, and he stepped up in the fourth alongside Robert Horry to win this game for the Lakers. If Kobe didn't do Kobe-like things, Lakers are cooked. The second thing that caught my attention was the Kings play actually a very modern style of basketball, like that resembles today's NBA, minus a lot of three-pointers. But they played a lot of high pick and roll. They played a lot of two-man game with Mike Bibby and either Vlade or Chris Webber. It resembled very much so a style of basketball today. They like to run and gun. They get turnovers on the defensive side of the ball, get easy points in transition. Very similar to today's NBA. I think the biggest reason they lost this game and probably eventually the series is because they didn't have a good closer. They did not have a guy that could go down the stretch in the fourth quarter to finish off the games for them. Chris Webber wasn't that guy. Mike Bibby wasn't that guy. Peja was a little bit, but Peja was more of like a spot-up shooter. They just didn't have a closeout, perennial closer like Kobe, like Lakers did in Kobe. If they did, they easily won this series. Hands down, no questions asked. And my final take, which I really wanted to get to, is you cannot tell me Nikola Jokic would not dominate the early 2000s because of the type of big men that played back then. Vlade Divac and Chris Webber were giving Shaq and Robert Horry trouble. Vlade Divac was cooking Shaq in that first half. Chris Webber had 26-5. Vlade had 23, 7, and 3. If you combine these two players, if you combine these two stat sheets, you get Nikola Jokic. The amount of times that Shaq fell for a Vlade pump fake from like 15 plus feet was crazy. And he's nowhere near the shooter Nikola Jokic is. He's nowhere near the scorer Nikola Jokic is. There's no way, no questions, Jokic is dominating this era. I'm going to continue watching the rest of the series, and I'm going to go back and watch more games of the early 2000s and see how big men play and compare them to how Jokic would play. And I guarantee it, Jokic is cooking every single one of those dudes. Stop playing with Jokic, man. Stop it. Stop it.